coming from New York, when I saw Busboys and Poets, the magic, the fusion of activism and poetry and spoken word just collided, and I instantaneously fell in love. One of these poets, Jonathan Tucker, is a former Busboys open mic host, also an educator. I was really fortunate to reinstate the DC Youth Poetry Slam, and this poet, Jonathan Tucker, has perpetuated the DC Youth Poetry Slam into DC winning the national finals, into a national title. So DC is a spoken word poetry capital. So in large part by Busboys and also through amazing poets like Mariah and Jonathan B. Tucker. Without any further ado, please give it up for the poetic stylings by the one and only Jonathan B. Tucker.
Thank you, Reggie. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's lovely to meet you on this occasion, and for those I've met before, to see you again. We're going to try something out where you're going to play and just feel it out and do your thing. Rather than explain the poem, maybe I'll just do it, and that'll be enough. Yeah.
I'm going to put a mute, so it's not overpowering when you speak.
That's a good call. I appreciate that.
Just turn.
No, I will give a little background on this poem. It has special significance. I wrote it a long time ago. The woman who it's about, it's kind of like an ode to her, but she just passed away like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, I forget, I should figure it out. But she was very instrumental in my life and my transition into social justice and working for a better world. And so this is a poem called This Rock. An extraordinary woman once told me to pick up a rock. Standing in an old lot next to an old church on a hot day in a public housing complex in Selma, Alabama, I bent and picked a pebble from the ground. As I did, she told me about Sunday, March 7th, 1965, now known as Bloody Sunday, where she marched with John Lewis, Hosea Williams, and over 500 other activists. Atop the infamous Edmund Pettus Bridge, she witnessed as an 11-year-old girl the unprovoked beating of peaceful marchers. The clubs, the horses, the gas, the guns. She heard the screams, saw the blood, and fainted. That rock in my hand, she told me, was there that day too. For after the chaos and the violence, the marchers returned, she told me, to this church, to this block, and they stood here on this small lot. And that rock then became a seed germinating in my hand. I held it tight and felt it growing inside of me. Like a castle of courage for a cowardly kid, it gave me solace. Showed me George Wallace, red-necked and bigoted head, showed me Jimmy Lee Jackson, Schwerner, Cheney, Goodman, King, X, and 4 little girls dead. It showed me strife and pain, the need for struggle with or without any gain. It showed me the jails, the dogs, the hoses, the hate. Digging its roots into my hand, this rock showed me my fate. Whether grave or great, we cannot wait. Cannot be scared and cannot not care. That, she told me, was John Lewis's rock. As he led the marchers head first into the batons, it was Amelia Boynton's rock. As she inhaled the toxic gas, it was Hosea Williams' rock. As he took the loud end of a bullwhip, they all came back here, where we stood, to the church in the projects, outside the overflowing, to the church in the projects, to the GWC homes, to the gravel parking lot on the other side of the tracks, outside the overflowing sanctuary turned into emergency room because the white hospitals wouldn't take them. They stood here and healed. They stood here and waited. They stood here and organized. They stood here on this rock and planned to march again. In the face of hopelessness, In the face of violence, in the face of state-sponsored homegrown terrorism, they stood strong for freedom. Against the law, but with the Lord. Against the odds, but firm with unity, they stood strong together on this rock. This rock touched me, and you don't have to study philosophy to know that therefore we have a connection, but it is much, much more than that. This rock became a quarry of passion, implanted in my hand, roots spreading in my skin. It found home in my blood and began breeding. As numerous as the stars in the skies, I now find magic rocks like this in the eyes of every protester, preacher, and social worker I see. Every student, scholar, and dropout, every prisoner, parolee, and migrant worker, I see this rock every day, no longer stepped on. We hold our rocks high in our hearts, ready to organize and stand together, just to get beat down against the law, but in the name of justice, until they can beat us no longer. For each of us has a heart beating stronger, with magic stones ready to carry this movement on longer, from song to bus, jail to jail, street to street, country to country. This is no small thing. This rock that Miss Joanne Bland gave to me has forever changed my life. Thank you all. I have one more piece for you. I affectionately call it OPP, Other People's Poetry. If you're down with OPP, say, yeah, you know me. You down with OPP?
Yeah, you know me.
Naomi Shiabnai is an amazing Palestinian-American poet. She came and did some workshops with my students here in DC. And this is a very short, very powerful poem from her that always finds a way to lift me up, even amidst the terrible things that we're going through. The title is Before I Was Gazan. Before I was a Gazan. I was a boy, and my homework was missing. Paper with numbers on it, stacked in lines. I was looking for my piece of paper, proud of this plus that, then multiplied, not remembering if I had left it on the table after showing to my uncle, or on the shelf after combing my hair, but it was still somewhere, and I was going to find it and turn it in. Make my teacher happy. Make her say my name to the whole class before everything got subtracted in a minute. Even my uncle, even my teacher, even the best math student and his baby sister who couldn't talk yet. And now I would do anything for a problem I could solve.